Hey there, what's up? It's Melanie Ash from MelanieAshFitness.com. Today I'm going to share 3 reasons why you might not be getting results from your diet and exercise program, and 3 ways that you can correct that problem and start getting results. I hear this a lot from women, and the issue tends to be you're working out, you feel like you're eating healthy, maybe you've made some changes in your diet, and you're just still not getting the results that you want. Maybe the scale moved a little bit and it stopped, or maybe you just can't seem to lose weight at all. There's many different issues, of course, that can be contributing to this, but breaking it down into 3 simple ones that you might not even realize you're doing and could really be holding you back from getting the results that you're wanting. A lot of times it's not always about eating too much and exercising too little. Sometimes it's just about the way that our lifestyle affects the eating choices that we make, the foods that we eat, and how we eat them, when and how much, that can actually really impact our bodies and whether or not we're going to get results from our diet and exercise program. Especially if you're working out and you haven't paid any attention to how you're eating or really changed some of the nutrition habits that you have, you might not get any progress at all. So 3 reasons why maybe you're not getting results from your diet and exercise program. Number 1, you eat out a lot. If many of your meals come from restaurants or fast food places, the truth of the matter is you can't really know how many calories are in what you're eating because you don't have control over it. And those foods simply just tend to be more high calorie and more high fat and more high sodium, things that don't help us lose weight if that is our goal. So even if you're tracking your food, if you're eating at restaurants and fast food places and they're giving you the nutrition content, you can't always trust it and you can't always know exactly how much you're getting, which means you may actually be eating more than you think, even if you're tracking it and putting it into something like MyFitnessPal. You might actually be eating more than you think. So if a majority of your meals are coming from restaurants, fast food, or packaged foods, that could be holding you back from getting results. Number 2, you're drinking your calories. I know, you guys, Starbucks is awesome and everybody loves to have a little frappuccino now and then. But did you know that Starbucks drinks now, if you get a latte, it automatically includes whipped cream? That's not a coffee drink, right? It's a milkshake, it's a treat. And so if you're finding that you're not getting results, are you drinking soda, sweetened teas, flavored coffee drinks that might have milk, sugar? The syrups that they put in those can have a lot of sugar in them. I mean, there are Starbucks drinks that have 40 to 50 grams of sugar, and that's just in the grande size, the 16-ounce size. So that, along with alcohol, could certainly be holding you back from getting the results that you're looking for. You want your calories to come from food as much as possible. Drinking extra calories, number 1, it just tends to add to more calorie intake that we then don't necessarily take into consideration. Because admit it, if you drink something, like if you drink a Starbucks drink that might have over 200 calories, it's not food. So you don't feel like you ate, so you're probably still going to have lunch, and then you've just sucked down 200 extra calories that you might not be mentally accounting for, and that could be preventing you from having the weight loss that you want because you're just taking in more calories than you're burning, and that's how we get weight loss. Alcohol is another big one, especially because it's loaded in calories. We tend to consume it and then eat some not so ideal foods with it when we drink alcohol, which again just leads to a higher calorie intake. If a lot of your calories are coming from liquids, that absolutely could be holding you back from getting the weight loss results that you're looking for. Number 3, mindlessly munching. I had a client say to me recently, once she started tracking food and paying close attention to her nutrition, she didn't even realize that she tended to pick and nibble from her kids' plates while she was either making their food, or a lot of you guys who are moms, you know your kids leave food on their plate and you'll pick it up and eat it without even thinking about it. If you're not accounting for those calories, again, this can be hundreds of extra calories in your day that you're not accounting for either mentally or even in your food diary if you're tracking your food. If you are someone who tends to kind of grab from the candy bowl at work, or at home you might snack while you're making dinner. I know you guys do this because I do it too. You get home, you're hungry, and you're cooking dinner, but you're so hungry as you're cooking dinner that you're snacking on anything that you have available that's real easy to nibble. And these things can really add up to a lot of calories, but because we're not sitting down eating a meal, we tend to forget about it. I mean, even if you're logging in a food diary, if you're not putting that stuff down, you could absolutely be consuming far more calories than you realize, which again is going to prevent you from getting your weight loss results. So those 3 things that could be keeping you from getting results, even if you're working out, even if you're trying to pay attention to your diet, even if you're eating clean, if you're eating out a lot at restaurants or fast food places, if you're drinking many of your calories in coffee, drinks, soda, alcohol, etc., or you're mindlessly munching and having little picks and bites and nibbles here and there, those are 3 things that could absolutely prevent you from getting the weight loss results you're looking for. Now, how do we correct this? So here are 3 strategies that you can use to start getting results if you're doing 1, 2, or even all 3 of those things. Number 1, make more of your meals at home. If you're trying to lose weight or get healthy, the more you know where your food comes from and you control what's in it and how much of it you eat, the more successful you will be. So if you're cooking food at home, you know you're using fresh ingredients, you're measuring out whether or not you're using a tablespoon of olive oil, you know exactly how much, and you have the control of the portion size that you want and need. Whereas at a restaurant, you get a huge bowl and you tend to eat it because it's there. So if you make more of your meals at home, you can control what you're taking in, you can control your portion size, and you can choose how much of each ingredient, and that's going to certainly be more productive towards weight loss than if you're eating a lot of your foods out at a restaurant, etc. Cut out those liquid calories. This step is so important if you're trying to lose weight. If you're not getting results, stop and take a look at what you're taking in. Most of your calories should come from food. If you're having soda, if you're having alcohol a few times a week, if you're having coffee drinks, if every day you're going to Starbucks and getting a latte, are you accounting for that extra 200 calories every day? Even if it's only 5 days a week, you guys, that's 1,000 calories a week just from a drink that probably, yes, it's enjoyable, but it's not satiating. It doesn't feel like food, and it's really not giving your body anything extra except for sugar that's more likely to go to fat storage. Try to cut down to black coffee. You can slowly whittle down. My tip, if you like to have cream or sugar in your coffee and you have a really hard time giving that up, is to start by just slowly reducing the amount you use. So if you normally have a whole creamer, start with 3/4 of one, then a half, then a tiny bit, then none. And if you do that slowly over days and weeks or months even, eventually you'll be more adjusted and you won't miss it so much. When you try to go cold turkey, that's when you tend to set yourself up for failure because it's too hard and it just feels like too drastic of a change all at once. Cutting out those liquid calories is going to really make a difference in your progress. If you're someone who drinks soda, if you stop drinking soda, you can lose, I'm not kidding you, 5 to 10 pounds like immediately just because of how much extra sugar you're getting in your diet from the soda. And the same goes for alcohol. Finally, practice mindful eating. Think about what you're putting into your body every day. If you find that you're mindlessly snacking and this is adding up to lots of extra calories, start keeping a food diary. Start writing down everything that you eat or use MyFitnessPal. I think in the beginning, even just taking pen and paper every time you sit down to eat and writing down what you're eating can really help you get that mental awareness of what your habits are and when and why you tend to snack and grab and pick here and there. And then you can start to develop a strategy to overcome that. If I'm coming home from work and I'm starving, but dinner's not for a couple hours, and I find that I'm like picking and nibbling here and there, and then I end up eating more than I would have, maybe plan to have a little snack like right before you leave work or right when you get home that's a controlled portion so you won't end up just kind of snacking in a way that allows us to eat a lot more than we realize. If you're tending to grab off the kids' plates, make a mental note of that, and when you start to do it, stop yourself, think about, are you really hungry? Why are you tempted to eat this? Or is it just a habit that you've created and you're doing it because you're on autopilot? You have to learn how to retrain your brain so you stop doing those automatic behaviors like grabbing a chocolate out of the candy dish as soon as you see the candy dish just because it's what you're used to doing. And keeping track of that in a food log or a food diary can absolutely make a difference. And you'll find that cutting out, maybe just eliminating those few extra calories every day, makes enough of a difference that the scale starts to move if you're doing everything else right with your diet and your exercise program. So circling back to these 3 issues, a lot of times it's not so much just about eating too much, it's more about our lifestyle, how and when we eat, that influences whether or not we get results. 3 reasons you might not be getting results, even if you're working out, even if you're dieting. Number 1, if you're eating out at restaurants a lot. Number 2, if you're drinking a lot of your calories. Number 3, if you're mindlessly munching and not keeping track of that. All 3 things can add up to extra hundreds of calories a day, thousands of calories a week that will keep you from seeing results on the scale. The 3 solutions if you're not seeing results, if these are the problems that you're having, eating out too much, drinking your calories, and mindlessly munching. In order to start seeing results, make more of your meals at home, cut out those liquid calories like the coffee drinks, the soda, and the alcohol, and practice mindful eating. Pay attention to where you're snacking and cut out those little bitty extra picks, nibbles, and licks here and there that are adding up to those extra calories and keeping you from getting the results that you want. If you're looking for some motivation or some ideas to start making more of your meals at home, go to MelanieAshFitness.com and get my free clean eating recipe ebook. 30 delicious, healthy, easy recipes. Don't take a lot of time, don't have a lot of ingredients, and they're all super clean and healthy, and it can start getting you into a pattern of making more of your meals from home and hopefully starting to see the results that you want. It's MelanieAshFitness.com. If you don't see it right there on the homepage, it's up in the upper right-hand corner. It says recipe book, and I will send that to you absolutely free.